Sorcerers, Friendly Neighborhood Spoon here, and today we are going to be looking at Asmus Toys' 1/6 scale figure of Satoru Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Asmus Toys' Satoru Gojo is both an awesome figure and kind of a lacking figure for the $175 US price point. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to love about this figure, but there are some things that I think are missing and some things that aren't missing but are lacking the quality that you'd expect from a premium product. At first glance out of the box, I think the figure looks awesome. From his head sculpt all the way down to his shoes, I think Asmus Toys did a great job in bringing Satoru Gojo off the screen onto a 1/6 scale figure. Let's start off by breaking down the first head sculpt that came inside the box. The first thing that grabbed my attention when I saw this figure was the way they executed the hair. I love the way that they decided to do the paint application for each hair strand or chunk of hair strand. The way that they used a gradient from darker gray all the way up to that lighter silver that we're used to with Satoru Gojo. I just think it does a great job with giving more dimension to each strand of his hair or chunk of strand in his hair. I just love the way it looks. Another thing I love about the head sculpt is the way they executed the blindfold or eye mask. I love that they gave it more dimension instead of having it just being a flat, flush piece of fabric along his face. It definitely brings more life to the figure. Now, if you're a stickler for accuracy like I am most of the time, I let this one slide a little bit. Asmus Toys didn't quite nail the look of the lower half of the backside of his head. At this point in the series, Gojo has more of a undercut or a shorter haircut on the backside, lower end of his hair, as opposed to how Asmus Toys decided to do it here, where it's a little bit longer and it just falls straight down. The reason I'm not going to cause too much of a stink about it is because it kind of follows the same shape of his head still, and it kind of gives you the same silhouette of how the character does look in the series, so I don't mind it as much. But for those who are looking for a one-to-one accuracy with the series, this might bother you. Now moving on to the outfit, I think the quality of it is pretty freaking good. It's made out of a nylon material for his suit, jacket, and pant. The stitching is executed quite nicely. Every little detail and every little panel that you would think exists on his jacket and pants combo exists on this figure. Asmus Toys did a really good job. I love the way that it fits really well. The shoulders don't look too baggy, and the jacket fits him nice and slim, just the way Satoru Gojo actually is. And the long tapered pant that fits his long skinny legs very nicely is on point. The shoes are executed very well. They look really nice and shiny, like it was made out of a patent leather. I like this take on the shoe as opposed to like a matte leather. It kind of suits Satoru Gojo a bit more to have a little bit more of a shine and sheen to his shoe. He is a bit more of a flashy character. My only gripe with the outfit is that there isn't any pockets in the jacket. There's kind of like a fold on a pocket there to show that there is supposed to be a pocket there, but Asmus Toys did not put a hole there. I kind of wish that Asmus Toys included a pocket hole for me to put his hands into, because it's one of his main poses. Now, there are pant pockets, but they are also not big enough for his hands to go into. You kind of have to take the hands off the wrist pegs and squeeze the wrist pegs into the pockets, but it doesn't look the greatest, and I would still prefer to have his hands go inside of a jacket pocket. Okay, let's talk about accessories. He comes with 5 magnetic swappable faces, including the one that he comes out of the box with. He comes with 3 smiling faces, with each smile getting bigger or more unhinged than the last. The open smiling laugh mouth that was included kind of surprised me because I was not expecting an actual hole or open portion of the mouth. I was expecting more of just a flat 2D drawn on sort of thing that you would expect from anime figures. So that's quite nice. There's also a serious face and this one.
I'll murder you!
Fun fact, I actually snapped a couple wrist pegs. Yes, a couple wrist pegs trying to do this pose. To me, they snapped way too easily. I didn't put a lot of force at all because I like to think I know how to handle figures that cost over $100, and I just think that this speaks to the quality of the base body of this figure. So they also included another head sculpt without the blindfold. This head sculpt I also love. The hair looks amazing. The paint application is similar to the one where his hair is up, but Satoru Gojo has the most beautiful eyes that I've ever seen. And these eyes are very much bland compared to what we see in the anime. They're so much more flat than I wanted it to be. I was hoping that they were going to make the eyes a little bit prettier to represent what Satoru Gojo's 6 eyes are like in the anime.
領域展開無料空所
I wish Asmus Toys gave it a little bit more shine and sparkle. Maybe put a little bit of a acrylic varnish to it so that they had a little bit of a gloss and a glistening to it. Some brighter blues, more highlights, more like white sparkle dots in there. Kind of like the way 3-0 does it, which is the first time that I will be talking about 3-0, which is another action figure brand if you're unfamiliar. They also made a 1/6 scale figure of Satoru Gojo and a bunch of other Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerers. Their Gojo has some nice eyes. Satoru Gojo also comes with 8 swappable hands, 2 relaxed hands that come out of the box, 2 fists, a few right hand only swappable hands, 1 single finger or pointing gesture, a 2-finger or finger gun gesture, 1 beckoning or pull down gesture that works well with the extra blindfold that came with the figure. And lastly, of course, but not leastly, the unlimited void domain expansion gesture hand. And of course, the figure has to come with a figure stand. Nothing too crazy about it. It's really light, all made entirely of plastic. Just got Satoru Gojo at the front for the nameplate, and of course the Jujutsu Kaisen logo at the top. And at the bottom, the Asmus Toys logo. And of course, it comes with the standard crotch grabber. One more thing that 3-0 has that Asmus Toys doesn't is a special effect accessory. Now I'm starting to think I bought the wrong one. I'm just kidding. I actually think that the Asmus Toys figure does look slightly better than the 3-0 one still, despite the lack of the special effect accessory. Now, because I am a graphic designer, I do have to talk about the packaging. On the front of the box, we have a beautiful key art of our boy Satoru Gojo. We've got the Jujutsu Kaisen logo on the bottom left and store.asmustoys.com on the bottom right, as well as the Asmus Collectibles Satoru Gojo Jujutsu Kaisen series number JJKSIA, produced and manufactured by Asmus Toys in a nice metallic silver foil ink. That's a nice touch, as well as on the side of the box using that metallic silver again, Jujutsu Kaisen Satoru Gojo. And Asmus Toys collectibles on the sides as well. And on the back we have 3 portrait shots of our boy in figure form, as well as product information and details of the figure. There is some more use of spot UV to make these elements shine and pop out of the matte box. And lifting up the slip case, on the front of the box inside, of course, we got a massive window for the figure and the accessories, as well as spot UV on top of the Jujutsu Kaisen sorcerer symbol that they have on their outfits, as well as the Jujutsu Kaisen logo in Japanese. On the sides of this box, we've got the splatter motif that they use a lot in the anime, Satoru Gojo. And on the back panel, just a very clean, very minimal box. I quite like that. Is the sorcerer logo again in the metallic foil stamp ink, Satoru Gojo series number JJKS1A again. This box is nothing too special, nothing too super premium, but it is very nice, very clean, and I like it. Now, the posability of the figure is actually incredible. The material of the outfit is not restricting at all and allows you to bend and twist the figure in any which way you want, as well as the articulation in all of the joints. He's got ratcheted shoulder joints, ratcheted legs that go front and back and a little bit to the side. He's got double joint knees, double jointed upper body, so his chest can hinge between the rib cage and chest as well as at the hips. He's also got a twistable torso, which allows you to turn the upper body separate direction from the lower body, which is kind of neat. But he also does this weird hip pelvis Elvis Presley shaky thingy. That's kind of neat, right? While I was trying to see cool poses that I could pull off with Satoru Gojo, I came to the realization that the base body feels a little cheap. For the price point that these figures come in, I was kind of hoping that they would be putting a little bit more into build quality and durability. Like I said before, the wrist peg snapped way too easily, so you do have to take a little extra care when handling this figure. Now with all that, for what we do get with Asmus Toys' Satoru Gojo figure, I am pretty stoked with the pickup. And hopefully I can pick up the special effect accessory sometime on eBay on its own without having to buy the whole 3-0 figure. We'll see, maybe I can do a little kit bash thing, or I could always just Photoshop it in. Thank you so much for watching this review of Asmus Toys' 1/6 scale figure of Satoru Gojo of the dopest anime Jujutsu Kaisen. I have been Spoon, I love you, stay spicy, and I'll see you real soon!